Hi, everybody, and welcome again to another exciting strategy on how to get additional customers and prospects per month on LinkedIn. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. At 76, I'm really excited about doing these things. I was just mentioning to John Davern how excited it has and how challenging it has become. But I just want to tell all of you, you're going to get a link for the replay of this webinar sometime in the next week or so. And so, just have a pen and pad handy to take some notes. But again, you're going to be getting the recording to watch it in your leisure. But yeah, one of the things that I'll be going over today is my training program, and many of you have over the years have asked me to develop the training program. I hesitated because at 76, I just wanted to really share with you a lot of the thoughts and strategies and et cetera that made me very successful. And but many of you asked me to develop a training program that would help you double your business over the next 12 months, and that's what I've done. So we're going to go over three things in this webinar. Number one, we're going to go over the key strategies to create new prospects per month using LinkedIn. These are additional techniques over and above the other ones that I've already shared with you. Then I'm going to go over my training program, and then I'm going to ask John Davern to come in on the VA talent program that I've been using for many years because what you want to do is eventually make money by being out there making sales and having someone else doing the strategies on a daily basis that I've been showing you. So let's get started right away. Again, here's a little bio on John Davern. Here's a little bio on me. And again, when you get the link for the replay, you could really just watch it in your leisure and do with it when you can. But anyway, why LinkedIn is a gold mine for prospecting. I want to go over that in a moment with you. Why do people use LinkedIn? Maintain professional identity, make useful contacts, search for opportunities, stay in touch. Did you know that 4 out of 5 LinkedIn members drive business decisions? And 39% of the members are senior level executives and beyond, which are the decision makers. And 28% of members are responsible for managing budgets. So LinkedIn members are active, influential professionals in a business frame of mind. They use LinkedIn to learn about new products and services, keep up with industry trends, research companies, network with peers, and conduct business. Uh, LinkedIn, by the way, reaches a unique audience. 83% of LinkedIn users do not visit Pinterest. 59% of LinkedIn users do not visit Google+. 58% of LinkedIn users do not visit Twitter, and 13% of LinkedIn users do not visit Facebook. This is why it's critical to know the different strategies on LinkedIn to help you work it. But LinkedIn is a powerful network, over 400 million professionals who are also consumers. Recent studies show LinkedIn members have the highest buying power compared to other social networks. And by the way, I want to tell you, hold off your questions till the end, write them down, and then this way at the end, we'll also answer whatever questions you might have. But understanding your connections and effect on your ability to communicate on LinkedIn, you got 3 different levels. You got the first level, who are people you're directly connected because you've accepted their invitation to connect, or they've accepted your invitation. And you can contact them by sending a message on LinkedIn. Second degree level is people who are connected to your first degree levels, and you can send them an invitation by clicking connect or contact them through an email. The third degree connections are people who are connected to your second degree connection. If their full first and last names are displayed, all right, if you are connected by a LinkedIn group affiliation, you can send them an invitation by clicking connect. If only the first letter of their last name is displayed, clicking connect is not an option, but you could still contact them through an in-mail. Here's some key strategies to help convert LinkedIn connections into prospects. You want to optimize your LinkedIn profile. And this is where the VA talent could really help you. In the key areas, it's the headline, because when someone's looking at your message and then they click on your LinkedIn profile, that headline is what jumps out and will grab them. And then you want to have an interesting summary which explains the benefits of why they should communicate with you. And then you got the contact info, experience and job experience. You want to build your first level connections. You want to join LinkedIn groups. You want to create your own LinkedIn group, by the way, and you want to keep your profile alive and engaging. And you want to do additional techniques. Now, on these other ones here, if you want, just send me an email at kenpbg@aol.com, and I'll send you the links so that you could also, if you haven't gotten them already, so that you could review how to do first level connections on LinkedIn, how to do groups, etc. These were prior webinars that I've done. So just let me know if you haven't got them. I'll send me an email and I'll send you the links. So additional techniques on LinkedIn are endorsements. So that's what I'm going to go over now. In a previous webinar, we covered how to connect with others in LinkedIn. Once someone accepts your connection request on LinkedIn, we send them a connection acceptance thank you message in which you thank them for connecting with you. And again, if you want the link, send me an email at kenpbg@aol.com. That's Ken, Peter Boy Girl, @aol.com. And I covered that on the previous webinar. Now, as a next step, you now should endorse your connections. And to access your connections, what you do is you click on My Network and then click on Connections. Then it's going to display the number of connections you have, and people may know you. Under your connections, right here, click on See All. Now, under Sort By, select Recently Added, and this is typically already selected by default, but if it's not, click on Recently Added, and it'll display all your connections sorted by the most recently added. Then you click on a connection's name to bring up their profile. So you click on their name, and this is what you get. You'll see New Connections Profile page will then appear. You will need to scroll down to get to their Skills and Endorsement section. You will see the skills for which you can endorse. You can click Show More to see additional choices, or you can click the plus sign on one or more skills to endorse them. The plus will change to a check mark indicating you've endorsed them. So you can see at the screen on the bottom left, skills and endorsement, you click on a plus sign for as many endorsements as you want. I normally do just 2 or 3. And then you get the check mark that you have endorsed them. You then want to repeat this process with the rest of your recently added connections. You want to click on My Network at top to return to your network, and under your connections, click See All as you did before. Then you select the connection and repeat the previous process to endorse the latest connections on your list. So you can see on the bottom right, you just go down like the Martin's Willing and just click on his name, and you scroll down for endorsement. The connections you endorse will then receive a notification from LinkedIn that they've been endorsed by you. Notification indicator will have the number of new notifications. Do you see on the top, it says next to messaging, it says notifications, that'll be number 1. A certain number of connections you endorse will thank you for the endorsement by clicking the Say Thanks icon, which will send you a thank you message. This is critical because this now opens the door for additional communication to build a relationship with the individual themselves. Okay, in the top of your menu, you'll see a notification of a new message on the messaging icon. This is important. You click on the messaging icon to see the person's thank you. So that'll be on the top of the page in the messaging icon. If they thank you, you'll see the thank you message. You want to click on their message, then type a message in response to their thanking you for the endorsement, and then click send. Here's the message that I use. Hi, Jane. The endorsement was my pleasure. The greatest endorsement I could give you would be a referral. Please let me know who your ideal referral would be. On all the messages that I'm giving you, it's to develop the relationship where they now respond back to you, and you could eventually just communicate with them. Once you've communicated in 2 or 3 ways with them, then they're susceptible to an opening invitation to meet with you. Endorsements can be seen on the profile page by scrolling down to the featured skills and section of their profile. You can click any of your listed skills to see who has endorsed you for that skill. You could also add a new skill to give others additional skills. You can do up to 50, by the way, for which they can endorse you. By default, endorsements are visible, but you can slide the button from to the left to make the endorsement from a particular person not visible. So you can press that button and move it to the left. Now, here's another additional technique. So I just went over endorsements. That's one additional technique. Now I want to go over the birthday messages. Again, these are all under notifications that you'll see on the top message there. This will show notifications of anyone in your network who has started a new position, is having a work anniversary milestone, is having a birthday, or if they liked one of your postings or commented on your group conversations. In this case, we want to message those with upcoming birthdays. If multiple connections are having a birthday on the same day, click See Who's Celebrating. For individuals, click Say Happy Birthday. So you see on the bottom left it says See Who's Celebrating. So you click on that and you'll get the 3 names of those individuals that are celebrating. And then you click on Say Happy Birthday. And when you click on Say Happy Birthday, all right, this is what's going to happen. All right. So you're going to click on that. Now you're going to click on congratulate and click on the happy birthday icon down the bottom right. You want to copy and paste the custom birthday message below that I've written here, and then click send message. And you repeat the process for other indicated birthdays. You do all these things on a daily basis. It should take you no more than 15 minutes to do this. Or like I said before, I've asked John Davern to make you an offer you can't refuse, just to try them out. But the message down the bottom says, hi, Jaylene, I would like to wish you a happy birthday. The greatest birthday gift I can give you would be a referral. Please let me know who your ideal referral would be. Then you click the send button. After you click the happy birthdays, that when you start to build a relationship with them, and this is the key critical thing. Most of the time, you'll get a message from them telling you who their ideal referral would be. You now send them a message telling them when you see someone like that, you will refer them to them. Or go to their profile and click on See Contact Info to know who your ideal referral is. Why don't we get together? By the way, you just simply type in there or say to them when you call them on the phone, thank you for letting me know who your ideal referral is. Why don't we get together for a cup of coffee and I can find who else would be an ideal referral for you. Again, you're going to get a copy of the replay and you can pause it here and just write these messages and you put them all in a Word document so that you can, when you come in to do this here, you just go into the Word document, you copy and paste the endorsement, you copy and paste, then you're doing a birthday, you copy and paste the birthday messages. Now you've also got congratulation messages under notifications. The next technique is to send messages to people congratulating them for events such as a new job or job anniversary. Connections celebrating this can be found by clicking on notifications as we did before for the birthdays and the endorsement. And you click on scroll down to find any notifications indicating the person started a new position or is celebrating an anniversary at an existing company. And those notifications will have a say congrats below the notification. So you click on say congrats, and now you're going to highlight a default congrats message in a body text. This is the message that you're going to use. My congratulations. Hi, Elizabeth. My congratulations. The greatest congratulation gift I can give you would be a referral. Please let me know who your ideal referral would be. Then you click send. With these three additional ideas, the endorsements, birthday, and congrat messages, I get a 44% response rate. On average, my subscribers that are in my training program and all tell me they get an average of 20 new prospects per month just doing these three things. Incredible. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. So for every 10 that you do, you're going to get over 4 that'll respond back to you. And that's important. You know, everybody is on LinkedIn for one reason only, and that is to get referrals. With our messages, we have just opened the door for them to bond with you again. Remember, and I sound sometimes like an old horse, it's all about building a relationship. I hope all of you, on the prior webinars, I've asked you to create monthly communication items where you can press of a button, you can communicate with your database just to keep aware so that when they're ready for your services, you're the first one that they communicate with. Now I'm going to go over the training program that many of you have asked me to create. You know, if you're struggling to take your business to the next level, harder working, if you're worried about competition, etc., then we want to transform your life. So within the next 12 months, I'm going to increase your income and show you how to do all of that. All right, so it's the Build Your Business Fast training program. And you get access to my wealth of knowledge from years of experience. And here's what you get. You get access, all right, 42 training modules in PDF format, and also converted MP3 audio download available for your convenience to watch while you're laying on a beach, or if you're in a car. But you're also going to have 40 hours of pre-recorded coaching calls on key topics that are pertinent to build your business that I've done in the past from coaching individuals. But you get 42 comprehensive training modules. Here's some ideas on what they are. The greatest sales secrets in turning quotes into sales. Creating a business plan to guarantee your long-term success. The amazing system for getting referrals from customers and people you meet every day. Positioning yourself as the expert in your field. Putting your business on autopilot so you can make money while you lie on a beach. Turning your existing customers into advocates who will bring in new business for you. Learning that the 20% that generate 80% of your income and who they are. How to create an effective website and use it to generate qualified leads. Advertising your way to success while saving up to 80% of your costs. How to make your customers bond with you so they'll never, ever go to your competition. Then you also get the recorded coaching calls. I cover topics such as the power of autoresponders and the magic email, what I recommend to you to do for generating leads and getting referrals, how to work with a virtual assistant to build your database, the fascinating tricks to profit from LinkedIn and meetup groups, making an elevator pitch that will get you appointments, how to create the ideal prospect and follow up with them every single month, the 7 points of contact and what to do when you get a no, how to work your way around certain LinkedIn changes and using the ADA formula as the best way to promote your website. Here's just a sneak peek inside the training platform. The Build Your Business platform is divided into 13 sections, as you can see, with each section having a general theme and multiple modules with each section. When you sign up, you really want to have a lot of paper in your printer because there's over 1,700 pages of valuable information in the training program. As an example, section 1 is all about list building and how to make your database work for you, and also how to turn your current customers into advocates so they bring new customers to you all the time. And then here's an example when you click on module 1. All right, this is the PDF, and you just click on download, and then you click on download the module audio recording. Also, next to the section 13 tab is the coaching calls tab. You click on it and you'll see an archive of my pre-recorded coaching calls. There's over 40 hours worth of information on topics that have come up and questions and answers on how you can build your business fast and create more customers. Here's just a couple of testimonials from individuals you've probably met and known about in the past. This one's from Brian Tracy. Just take a moment to take a look at it. All right, here's one from Mark Hansen, uh, uh, author of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Take a moment to look at it. One of the key things that Mark realized is that I've spent millions of dollars to test every single idea and concept and strategy that I share in my training program. All right, here's the last one from Dan Kennedy. Take a moment to look at it. I just want to tell you that he was joking when he said that they have a person in Washington designated to try and figure out how to get more taxes out of me. Danny has a great sense of humor. Anyway, your investment in the program is only $497. All right. So you get full access to the 42 training modules, PDF ebook format, and converted MP3 audio in 40 hours of my coaching calls. Here's my guarantee to you, because I know if you just get one new customer, your investment in yourself will be, you'll get your investment back immediately. But I personally guarantee that if after 1 year from the purchase date and implementing my strategies in the training program that you don't get at least one new client or customer, I will return your full investment. All you have to do, by the way, is just show me that you have implemented the strategies in each module so that I could talk to you to see if you've implemented them correctly, and we could try again. If not, I'll just return your investment. All right, so here's the special webinar bonus, by the way. Be one of the first 50 to purchase, and you get two additional bonuses, have $53.50 value. I'll do a personal 1 hour coaching call with you, which has a $5,000 an hour value, which I charge when I talk to individuals via the phone. And then I'm going to have John Davern do a webinar for you for $350 value on how to successfully outsource and manage your first virtual assistant. So you're getting a total bonus value of over $5,300. And here again is the bonus that John Davern is going to go over with you, is the best methods to successfully delegate tasks to a VA, common pitfalls of outsourcing and how to avoid, and the best project management and camp communication tools. Again, that has a value of $350. Here's the link to go into it and just take a look at it. It's buildyourbusinessfast.com. It's https://buildyourbusinessfast.com. I hope you really take advantage of it. These are for those of you that are insurance agents on the webinar, or those of you that are in network marketing. These are the two links to your specific training program. So just take a look at those and write them down. And I hope you take advantage of this because, again, I know that it's going to help you create customers. Now I want to go over the value of hiring a virtual assistant. I've asked John Davern to get on the line with us. I've been using VA Talent for quite a number of years, and I found them to be so valuable. In fact, I always check what I inspect, and just for last month, my return on investment was 327% from hiring the virtual assistant. Here's some important tips that I want to go over with you. You're better off making sales than doing the techniques mentioned in my last few webinars. The connection messages, meetup, welcome messages, and endorsements, birthday congrat messages, which I went over here. You want to hire a virtual assistant to do this for you. A VA spending a few hours a day to send LinkedIn connection messages, send meetup welcome messages, send endorsements, they can set up appointments for you, make phone calls, etc. But the benefits of using LinkedIn, it's inexpensive way of building your pipeline and building your community. There's more prospective clients by joining groups and sending new connections. It's a systematic way of doing lead generation, and it increases your referrals from your new connections. According to my subscribers, they're getting up to 44% response rate just on the endorsement, birthday, and congratulation message. So for example, again, if you send out 100 messages per month, you get up to 44 prospects to present your product or service to. That's just really fascinating and phenomenal, because the whole name of the game is having prospects. If you don't have prospects to turn into customers, you're not going to last very long in business. I'm using virtual talent for many years now and found them to be very useful. Here's some of the things that VA Talent can grow your network by helping create and optimize your LinkedIn profile for searchability. Again, this is critical and important because you want to create that headline where an individual, when they click on your profile, bingo, this jumps out at them and you grab them. You want them to send out your connection messages, searching for and joining LinkedIn groups containing your prospects, posting interesting articles to your LinkedIn groups and on your status, setting up appointments and managing your calendar, creating and sending out your newsletter, managing your contacts and email marketing, updating your website content and blog, managing your social media marketing campaigns and accounts, and increasing your website traffic and search ranking and more. I mean, this is so critical and important. VAs create prospects for you to present your product or services to, which is very critical and important. I just want to ask John to step in now, and John could go over his background and how he started and the offer that I asked him to make to you that I feel you can't just refuse, so that you can at least try them out.
Okay, well, thanks, Ken. It's great to be on the call today with everybody. And Ken, you and I have been working together for 4 or 5 plus years, and from everyone, you had hired a virtual assistant from us, and I've also been part of your coaching program as well, and it's definitely made a huge impact of my business, and I've lost track of the number of clients that we've gotten using the LinkedIn techniques that you've showed on the webinars. It's been a huge impact on my business. A little bit about me and a couple of things that I'm going to go over today. First is I'll go over a high level big picture strategy of what you can do in LinkedIn. And then the second thing is to kind of go over a decision making process in terms of how you can potentially incorporate virtual assistants in your business. My background, I've been working in HR for over 20 years. And in that time, I've hired thousands of people. I've trained thousands of people. I also founded a virtual assistant company, and the starting point for me when I started the virtual assistant business, I was actually working a corporate HR job, but at the same time, I wanted to have my own business, and in that case, it was actually real estate. I was working a full-time corporate job, probably over 55, 60 hours a week, but at the same time, wanted to start my own business. And I went to a real estate investing seminar, and they talked in that seminar about how a virtual assistant can help you find real estate deals. And I hired a virtual assistant during that, shortly after attending that seminar. And one of the things that I had my virtual assistant do was a repetitive task of going on Craigslist and repeatedly posting that I was looking for real estate deals. And through that repetitive process, I was able to get, with the help of a virtual assistant, my first few real estate deals. And from there, that kind of evolved with me making money on those deals. People saw that, they had asked if they could get a virtual assistant, and then that kind of evolved into my virtual assistant business, which I started in 2009. And in that time, I've hired and trained hundreds of virtual assistants that I've used to grow my own business, but also to help people with their business. And if you look at small business owners and entrepreneurs, there's a article that I'd seen in Inc. magazine and Entrepreneur magazine, how entrepreneurs typically work over 60 hours a week. And that's a crazy work schedule as we try to grow our business. And that was something that I was doing when I was working my corporate job, and then also trying to start my own business, getting very little sleep with that. So one of the things that I do is I help business owners grow their business in a way that they don't have to put all their own time into it, and taking a look at, in terms of the workload, what things that they can do, what does it take to run their business, and what does it take to grow their business, and could that be done remotely or virtually with the help of a virtual assistant to help scale the business. So let's take a look at high level in terms of a LinkedIn strategy of how you can grow your customer and client base. And then this is all taking a look at some of the techniques that Ken has presented in this webinar, but also in the other webinars. If we take a look at LinkedIn, when you start up your LinkedIn account and you build your profile and you're taking a look at who you want to be a part of your network, you can do a search, and you can do searches by keywords. You can look at people's profiles, what you want to be looking for based on your business model and your product and service and the geographic area of where you're marketing. You want to pick people that you're going to connect with that are going to be referral partners, that are going to refer business to you, or that are actually going to be potential customers and consume your products or services, or people that are in your industry that are key influencers that have a lot of influence, that are known as thought leaders, and that would have either potential customers or referral partners in their overall base. And that's your baseline for the connection requests. And connection requests can either be outbound from you, where you're doing a repetitive process of looking at people's profiles and making strategic connections and sending outbound connection requests. Or they could be, as you start to build your network, you're just going to see people are going to want to connect with you, and you'll be getting inbound requests. And then at that point, when you're making outbound connection message requests, if they are going to accept it, there's two different techniques that we've taught in previous webinars. The first is if you're making a connection message and they accept that request, you're going to send them a thank you message. And that's going to be, thank you for accepting me into your network. I'm going to go into kind of the framework of the response, because that's what makes a huge difference in terms of whether they're going to potentially convert into a client or customer. If it's an inbound message to you and you accept that message, you're not going to just say, okay, hey, thank you, but you're going to tweak that standard message and do the request to join message, which is thanks for asking to join my network. So there's specific criteria whether you're doing an outbound connection request and they accept it, or you get an inbound connection message request and you accept it. The way that you respond to people is going to make the difference in whether they're going to convert eventually to a potential prospect or not. And this makes or breaks, the difference is what you have in that message will determine whether you're going to convert them into a customer or not. So the key message components, and you'll kind of see this in this webinar and previous webinars that Ken has done, it's the messaging that makes a difference when you're communicating with people. The first message component that you want to have in there is your value proposition. So when you take a look at Ken's messaging and when he's communicating to people, and when you develop your own messaging, you want to make sure that it includes in there your value proposition. Why would somebody want to do business with you? How is your product or service going to solve their problems or improve their situation better than the competition? So that's the first component. The second component is an offer to help. And you saw in this case, you offering to help them either with ideas or providing them with referrals. You're getting to know your connection. The third thing is you're going to invite them to join your LinkedIn group. Now, you may not have a LinkedIn group at this time, but it's fairly easy to create a LinkedIn group. It can be a little bit more difficult to maintain it. But again, this is, as I'll go into, it's something you can, if you don't have the time, you can have a virtual assistant do this for you. You create a LinkedIn group. So for example, if whatever your geographic area is, you create a business networking group. And you maintain that group, you put content in there, maybe you have different types of meetings or you post different ideas. It's a forum for thought and discussion, and that helps you to become an influencer, and can really help build your network by posting useful content. You can post initiating thought-provoking discussions, challenges, and pain points. And then as you post those pain points, let's say, for example, if you're a insurance agent, you might post key risks of not having the proper insurance levels on different types of items, or key things that might be missing in an insurance policy, and post some scenarios. And as people respond, you're going to respond with solutions and gently insert your value proposition. So the LinkedIn group can be a key piece to help you build your credibility and reputation. And people will just see he or she is a person that they want to do business with. The final component is that it should have a list building opt-in, such as a free ebook or a free consultation or discount. So you have those components in some way or another in your messaging when you're communicating. You're getting these inbound requests for connections, or you're making outbound requests and they accept it. You include those message key components. And the way that you do that also makes a difference in terms of whether it's going to be successful or not. And that's one of the key things that I found in working with Ken and going through Ken's training programs and being part of Ken's coaching programs is I followed Ken's model, and Ken helped and tweaked that messaging. And I can tell you, there was a time where I was doing this process and sending out a bunch of messages to people and not getting any response at all. And it was just the way that my messaging was. And then I tweaked it, and then it got better, and my conversion rate got better. And then eventually, if it doesn't get the type of response that you need, you don't just repeat that process, you intervene and you make a change on it. But that kind of makes or breaks the campaign that you have on LinkedIn, is having these key message components and then tweaking it to the point where you're getting a good conversion rate. Again, we've done some previous webinars where we've gone over making the connection request, where we've gone over building LinkedIn groups and so forth. So those are things that you can see in some of the past history, and we update it as LinkedIn changes as well. So this is kind of the overall process flow. If you take a look at this, again, you're doing a repetitive task of making outbound connection requests to key people that might be referral partners or potential customers. And then when you're getting inbound messages, you're responding to those, and you don't just use the standard messaging that LinkedIn provides. You actually tweak it and you include these 4 key message components. Now, in terms of looking at the different tasks that it takes in running your business, one of the things you can do is look at, you don't have all the bandwidth and time to do everything that you want to do. And so anytime when I'm doing something related to my business, I take a look at, first of all, what work needs to be done to grow my business. And that could be a product or service development. It could be putting out a new website or keeping your website updated or making it mobile friendly. It could be ads, it could be graphics, business development, you know, LinkedIn reaching out to clients or customers, that's part of overall business development. Facebook marketing, that's part of business development. Making phone calls to people, marketing and lead generation, whether it's offline or telemarketing or social media. Doing activities to build organic traffic to increase the number of people that are visiting your website. Doing Google pay-per-click campaigns where if people search for certain keywords for your type of business in that particular geographic area, where does your business show up on the search ranking? And then overall sales. So these are all different things that you can do to grow your business, and that's kind of a short simplified list. And then what work needs to be done to run your business on a day-to-day basis. There's a lot of different things. You got to keep up with the accounting and the bookkeeping. There's administrative work. You got accounts payable, accounts receivable, customer service. So when people call your phone number, who answers the phone? Is it you? Do you have time to be on customer service calls, human resources issues, operational issues, when somebody places an order, getting that order out to the customer, getting them set up with a new account, managing projects, IT, maintaining your website. So what work needs to be done to grow your business and what work needs to be run your business? And then taking a look at, can this work be done remotely? Because you can't necessarily do it all. And if it can be done remotely, then looking at, first of all, do you have work instructions for that task or job? So if it can be done remotely, can you train somebody to do that? Or if it can't be done remotely, then of course the choice is either you're going to have to do it personally, or you need to hire an office worker, or you just simply don't do it because you don't have the bandwidth. But more and more now, and you'll see this in a lot of seminars that are out there, business communications, there's a lot of trending on remote workforce. And this is not just for small business owners, but a corporate trend overall, even with traditional offices. You have more and more people who are working from home, or 1 or 2 days or even 3 days a week are working remotely. It's very commonplace now. You're seeing more people working remotely, and actually a lot more of the workforce almost demanding that per se as part of their overall work package to have that ability to work remotely. So the pace of technology is also keeping up with that, meaning you as a small business owner now can leverage all these different tools and communications out there to manage a workforce remotely and utilize, there's all kinds of different communications and meeting tools that somebody could be across overseas, and it's very easy to communicate with that person with GoToMeeting or Skype. Face-to-face conversations online, document sharing. So there's Google Docs, there's Dropbox, there's Smartsheet where you can work on documents all at the same time and update. There's a lot of good project management and collaboration tools to manage virtual teams, such as Trello and Asana. So that enables you, a lot of this work that maybe before could not be done remotely or not managed remotely we now have the tools to do that. So then the question becomes, do you have the work instructions for that job or task? So can you train somebody to do that repetitive task? And in this case, if we look at, LinkedIn, it's a repetitive process to send to do endorsements, or to send the birthday message, or to do the congratulations message. But you can document how to do that, and you can train somebody to do that process. So if you don't have the work instructions, you either do it personally or you don't do it, and it's just a missed opportunity, or you spend the time to create the work instructions, the job description, or hands-on, or a video or written procedure. When I was doing real estate deals and doing this repetitive task of posting on Craigslist, what I did was I created work instructions for a virtual assistant. I created a template, showed them how to log into the account, copy and paste, here's what you post. And when somebody calls in, I actually had the virtual assistant answering the phone calls, and I had a phone script for inbound calls and questions that they would ask. So you can create these procedures for the virtual assistant to do that particular task for you. So there's so many different things that now with the technology that you can hire or do to delegate to a VA. And I have virtual assistants manage my websites. I had them update my website to make the website mobile friendly in terms of blogging and content on my blog. I give them different topics to research, and they go out and research and actually write or create content or create the blog. I have virtual assistants answer my phone calls and do lead generation. I have virtual assistants that build the organic traffic on my website by taking a look at the overall website, the different types of tags and the content that is on the website. And all these things have made a huge difference for me, and also for clients that have contacted my company. So this is something that's very important. This can help take you from a 60-hour work week to, there's a book out there that became very popular, the 4-hour work week. This can help you to reduce the number of things that you have to do, all that busy work and things that you could be doing to grow your business, so that you can achieve a better work-life balance. In terms of the process that Ken showed you, today, and LinkedIn tasks, this is something that we've been doing for quite a long time, is helping you. What can a virtual assistant help you do in terms of LinkedIn? They can help you set up your LinkedIn account. They can also help create your LinkedIn profile. And it's important to have a complete profile, because when people go on LinkedIn and they're trying to search for people that they're going to connect with, they're looking to see if in terms of your work experience, what are the products and services that you offer, and having a complete profile can help that to build your network. So if you have a daily activity, and Ken talked about, in terms of conversion rates and so forth, one of the things that a VA can do for you on a daily basis is look at LinkedIn groups and joining LinkedIn groups that have potential clients or customers in it. If you're part of that LinkedIn group, it makes it easier for you to communicate with that group. And you can have a VA joining a certain number of groups on a weekly basis, and actually monitoring the LinkedIn groups. Certain LinkedIn groups have a lot of activity, others don't have much activity, and they can change which groups that you're a part of. Also sending connection messages on a daily basis. So for example, VA can go in and send strategic connection messages of people that might be referral partners or customers. And if you look at that, if you're sending out 125 connection messages per week, that totals to be 500 connection messages a month. If you just had 3% of those people respond positively, that's 15 new prospects. If you had 6%, that's 30. If you had 8%, that's 40. That's how you can get to that, getting those 20 additional prospects per month. And I can't tell you, how many customers that we've gotten, as a result of using LinkedIn. But this technique of using LinkedIn, again, was not very effective until I actually tweaked the messaging. And that's why it was so important in working with Ken. Ken was able to help me with my messaging to get it to the point where it could actually convert. Because before that, I was not really getting much of a good response on it, but we tweaked the messaging and it made all the difference. The whole idea of hiring a virtual assistant, again, as I mentioned, there's certain things that you could be doing to grow your business and certain things that you need to do in running your business, is to help to transform your life. One of, very basic things, because I just finished with, we're in tax extension season and everything, but I used to do my own bookkeeping, and it was a very time-consuming process, and I'd spend hours on it, hours. I mean, it was a huge task for me, and most recently, I finally took a little bit of time to train one of the virtual assistants to do that, and now that burden is off of me, and it can really, the more things that you look at that you can outsource to a VA can help transform your life and business and have you focus on things that are more important, whether it's higher level tasks within your business or tasks that maybe technically that you didn't know how to do. Like, for example, do you know how to create a Facebook ad campaign? I mean, you hear how effective it can be, but do you know how to actually implement it? Well, no, if you don't, you can have a virtual assistant do it for you. So it's amazing, in terms of virtual assistant services, and I specialize in providing clients with virtual assistants from the Philippines because that's happened to be where I hired my first VA to help me with real estate deals. The cost of top talent in Philippines is just amazing, in terms of the types of talent that you can get there. And if you look at, unemployment, we've got different people on the call that are in different geographic locations, but US is in many areas are at, all-time lows for unemployment, which means the competition for talent is very high. People are not on the job market for very long. When people are looking for jobs, they've got their choice in terms of where they can work. And this just allows you to look at worldwide talent in terms of hiring somebody remotely to work for you, and they happen to live in a geographic area where it is not as costly, and you can get an amazing amount of talent in terms of the price point. So I'll give you an example. At one of the corporate places that I had been working at, they were paying web people $100 an hour to do web design and web programming work. Yet if you hire somebody remotely overseas in the Philippines, you can get it at a price point of just $11 an hour. And the work is not really, it's not different work. There was nothing different about it. So here's kind of the price point in terms of virtual assistants. And these are prices for my company for non-technical VAs that do admin assistant or social media or content creation, like writing blogs or doing data entry. That price point starts at $8.20 per hour. We offer VA services. There's no, certain time commitment that you have to commit to having a VA for a certain period of time. It can fit whatever budget that you need in terms of number of hours per week that the VA works, if it's an ongoing task or if it's just a project basis. But it's starting at $8.20 an hour for non-technical work. And then for technical work, such as doing web design and maybe creating a graphics, a company logo for you, or graphics for your campaigns or brochures for your business, or even programming work, that starts at $11.20 an hour. So the way that my business works is we work with you to determine what type of talent that you need for your business and how much time do you need that VA for, and then we just put it into a package in terms of hours per week. And there's no certain time commitment. If you don't use, you prepay a certain balance of virtual assistant hours, you get to pick the VA. You can interview different VAs and determine which one that you'd like to work with. And these are the different packages that we offer. So right now, if you sign up for the virtual assistant service, there's a $50 off promotion that you can use. And if you're interested, go to virtualassistanttalent.com or give us a call. So with that, I'd like to open it up for any types of questions that you may have. So there's a couple ways to ask questions. One is through the questions panel, and another one is if you raise your hand, we can unmute you. So first question that we have is, this is from Luthia. Why would somebody want to endorse a connection that they don't know? So Ken, I've got an opinion on that. I don't know if you wanted to answer that as well.
All right, why don't you answer it first, John, and then
Yeah.
I'll add mine.
Yeah, so in terms of endorsing, you know, that's a personal decision. You may only want to endorse people that you've personally have worked with. But I think a lot of people, they're on LinkedIn to kind of build their connection base and get to know other people. And I think a lot of people on LinkedIn are comfortable endorsing others just by simply looking at the person's profile and their work history and their overall work experience and recommendations that person may have in their profile. And they do that, you know, with the hope of that person will endorse them back, so that they're hoping for that reciprocation.
You took the words right out of my mouth, John.
Okay. All right. Can we obtain the slides from the presentation? That question is from Daniel. And Daniel, yes, this presentation is actually we're recording it, and it's going to be put up on YouTube, and you'll have a link to the replay, so you'll have access through the slides through that method. That's likely to be prepared and go out probably next week to all the participants that were registered for the presentation today. All right, good. We're almost out of time here. We took up just about the whole hour. Let me just see if there's any more questions last minute that have come in here. Okay. All right, so let's see. Okay, I'm not, okay, here's a issue. This is from Randy. One issue has been that the VA that they've spoken to has had difficulty speaking without a big language barrier. So it's the language barrier issue. And so, for example, if you have a business, and let's say, you know, this can come up whether it's a telemarketing campaign or it's a customer service. Like, for example, one of our clients completely outsourced, you know, their customer service. So when somebody called their business, the person answers the phone, and they're actually in the Philippines. So when people contact my company, you actually get to interview the VA before you select them. And some VAs have a stronger accent than others. Some of them sound like they're a US native. And so it really depends on the person that you hire. But there is talent out there that will sound like for example, if you're a US based person, or if you're a UK person even, they're trained even in some of the call centers to have an accent for the country that they're being outsourced to do the work for. So you have a choice in what VA that you pick, and you just have to find somebody that does not have that type of accent. And typically the price point could be higher. I mean, if you're hiring a virtual assistant from the Philippines that has no accent whatsoever and sounds like a US native, the price point on that's going to be a little bit higher. But still, in terms of the talent that you're going to get, they will have much more higher talent and capabilities than if you were hiring somebody at minimum wage US. I mean, it's not even a comparison. So for example, if you're hiring an $8.20, $9.20 an hour virtual assistant from the Philippines, these are typically people who are college degreed and have maybe even been managers in large positions, or managers or supervisors in call centers with a lot of responsibility, but then they want to work from home, for various reasons, whether they just like working from home or they've had children and want to have that type of flexibility. The other piece to that is, in terms of outbound telemarketing, you can also get people that will not sound like they are from a foreign country. And again, you typically pay a little bit higher price point, but you can select that person. We have people who are have very little accent. Now, if you get a technical person, like you have a web designer, the accent may not matter at all because they're not talking to customers. They're just doing back-end programming or designing your website. So that's a criteria that, again, as you're interviewing talent, again, that you can request, and typically it's at a little bit higher price point because that person, is in higher demand because they do not have any accent whatsoever. So I hope I answered your question, Randy. Okay, well, let's see. Let me check one more time on the dashboard. I think that is it, and we're just about out of time here. So again, thank you, Ken, for having me on the call. It's been great working with you, and again, these techniques that you've shown have consistently helped my business, and we're consistently getting business by these techniques that you've been showing in LinkedIn. So appreciate that and thank that. And again, the training program and the suggestions that you've had have really made the difference in terms of whether the messaging is going to convert or not. So also thank you for that as well, Ken. So great being on the call.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody who attended. And if you got any questions, I'm only an email away. So everybody keep well and have a great week.